Hi autumn, the season of red leaves and mixing colors. A time when everyone suddenly becomes a leaf expert for about 2 weeks. It's a beautiful time to walk around and disappear in it all, but for some reason I kept feeling rushed. Why is that? Road trip to see some trees shouldn't be too stressful at all. But I guess there's always this tiny fear that everything good and beautiful will vanish the moment I choose to look away. Maybe there'll be a rain tonight, or a sudden wind. Even a mountain of red and gold could disappear overnight, before I wake up and open the curtains. I guess nature has its own timing, it's just not in sync with mine. Autumn will come back next year though, but some people, when they're gone, all we're left with are just their traces. Maybe they made something more permanent, like a beanie your grandma has knitted for you, or a painting someone painted, or a watch someone designed. I brought this triangle with me this time, maybe to remind myself of the temporary nature of things. Or maybe I just want to take some cool pics with it on my wrist. I'm not so sure. What I know for sure though is that I've always liked this quirky watch, a vintage Patek Philippe from the 1950s. It has a reference like every other Patek watches. It even has a nickname, though not a very creative one I guess, the Triangular. The watch has gained massive popularity, and the series which it came from, the Asymmetry collection, are like collectors just rediscovered some new underground cult films. In this collection, we could see shapes that are not traditionally Patek or even watches. They have elongated edges and maybe stretched in the wrong places. It's as if they were born on a strange planet with odd gravity. This Triangular, however, doesn't even try to be normal. It's ginormous for the time. It has a strap that goes through the entire case. And come on, it's just a triangle. Unapologetically, a triangle. There are actually some triangles in life if you pay enough attention. Old temples really do, the rooftops. The triangles are very strong structures. The road signs are triangular shapes as well, or the slice of meat I'm eating. You don't have to be a super genius to use the triangular shape to create a watch, I think, but somehow no one did. Besides a man called Gilbert Albert, a genius designer, he was scouted to work for Patek Philippe when he was only 25 years old, fresh out of design school. I guess big boss Henry Stern might have seen something special in him. Quickly promoted to the head of design at Patek, Gilbert Albert did not make huge commercial success for Patek Philippe right away. He won some awards, yes, 10 times the Oscar of Design Awards, the Diamond International. But the watches he made, the funky shapes, the ones that were a decade before even the most fashion-forward of all brands, the Cartier, the Crash, did not result in a large production number at all. I guess the man Henry Stern didn't care. He loved and admired the talent of Gilbert Albert and the future that everyone else couldn't see at the time. These watches were made in minuscule numbers. The 3424 in yellow gold stretched vertically, arguably the most successful one of the series, were made in 90 pieces. The 3422 in yellow gold, which was stretched just horizontally and looks like it's dancing always, were made in 18 examples. The Triangular was, however, more like a special order, made in just 12 examples. The Patek Museum, of course, proudly puts one in exhibition. Sure, they were cool, they were pretty, they were avant-garde, but people didn't use their wallet to prove their love. Of course, until today, when Gilbert Albert watches tend to make big splash and huge numbers at auction. There's a saying that goes something like, people always applaud the prices, but not the Picasso. Sure, people nowadays say Gilbert Albert was a genius, a visionary, and he was so ahead of his time. They analyze every line, every angle, every production number, every little detail. But what they can do is to talk to the man himself. Because Gilbert Albert passed away already in 2019. When I see the red leaves falling, I think about the flights I could have taken to visit him. I think about the possible conversation as I could have had with a man, because once the leaves fall, they are not going back up again. The triangular is not just a watch or a shape. It's for me a reminder to care about the human connection. It's a reminder for me to notice angles that people don't really pay attention to. It's saying not to just look at the objects, but the men and women who created these things. When an artist is gone, we inherit their objects, but not their laughter, not their stories, not their intentions. We can only stare at the artworks, but we lose the conversations. The objects themselves are never the most important part. Gilbert Albert is not with us anymore, but his triangular is still here. And every time I take a look at this little thing, I will think of paying just a little bit of more attention to everything and everyone that might not be there always, might be just like this autumn leaves.